Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Selina Anggini from University of Muhammadiyah Tangerang. So in this occasion, I would like to present my research with the title Analysis of 4th Semester Student Speaking Skill as an Academic Speaker. So the subject of my research is Dewi Susalwati as my friend when she is doing her presentation with the title Religion and Culture of Wuhan Society. But before I mention the research result, I would like to describe about two domains of language learning. The first one is productive skill. Productive skill, also known as active skills, is when someone produces the language. Productive skill consists of two, which is speaking and writing. That means when we are speaking, we are producing the language by our mouth, and when we write something, when we're writing, that means we are producing by write on it. The second one is a receptive skill, also known as passive skill, means that they don't have to produce the language, they just receive and they understand the language. So the receptive skills consist of reading and also listening. Next, because we are analyzing speaking skills, so we have to know what is speaking, the definition of speaking. According to Brown, speaking is an interactive process of constructing meaning that involves producing, receiving, and also processing information. Speaking is complex because speakers are involved in dynamic process incurring a high element of doing various things at the same time. Next, academic speaking. As I said before, that this is about being a good academic speaker, so we have to know what is academic speaking. Academic speaking and speaking in everyday conversation is a bit different because academic speaking is designed for educational purpose and contains some theory and also research. Academic speaking is often used for formal academic presentation or seminar or maybe conference. Next, speaking criteria. According to Harris, there are 5 speaking criteria. The first one is comprehension. What is comprehension? So, as the speaker must know the material that they deliver, how good is they understanding and delivering the material to the audiences? They have to masterize the material. The next one is grammar. It is needed for a speaker to arrange correct sentence in speaking while delivering the materials, because academic speaking is a formal, so it is important for the speaker to use the correct grammar. Next, vocabulary. To be able to deliver the material to the audience, the speaker must have a good vocabulary. Without having a sufficient vocabulary, they can't communicate effectively or express their idea well. The fourth one is pronunciation. Means that speakers can articulate and plan the sounds of the language and use appropriate intonation. It is the way for speakers to produce clear language when they speak. This is very important for speakers to have a good pronunciation, because when they pronounce their word good, that means that they have a good speaking English ability. The last one is fluency. Fluency is the ability to read, to speak, or to write easily, smoothly, and expressively. This is mostly become a focus beside a pronunciation, because for the speaker, because if they are fluent enough in speaking English, that means their English is good. Signs of fluency includes a reasonably fast speed of speaking and small number of pauses or mumbling. Small pauses like or maybe like when they want to say something but they don't understand or they don't know what is the right word. That means they have a problem with their fluency. Next one is the research method. So while doing this research, I was using a qualitative descriptive research method. So what is descriptive research? Descriptive research is collecting data in order to answer the question about the research. Oh, but the first one, I forget to describe what is research method. So research method is the strategy, process, or techniques used in collecting the data for analyzing something. In this case, analyzing the speaking skill of my friends while doing her presentation. So while doing the analysis, I use qualitative descriptive research method, as I already said before. So descriptive research is collecting data in order to answer the question about the research. So qualitative research is kind of research that relies on unstructured and non-numerical data. The data may take from notes by the researcher in the course of observation, interview, and recording. In this case, I use observation and also recording at the same time. So when Dewi was presenting her material, I observe her presentation direct in the class, and also I record the video to observe it later. The sample of this research is single samples. That means that I only have one subject of the research, which is Dewi Susulawati from 4B2 class of University of Muhammadiyah Tangerang. As already said, I said before that observation, I have two observation, which is direct and indirect observation. Next, research result. So after analyze Dewi performance and Dewi speaking skill as an academic speaker, based on the analysis, I conclude that this is the result. The first one is the subject comprehended the material so that she could deliver her speech well. So Dewi also interact with the audience to engage them to focus on her presentation, which is really good, because if you cannot attract people's attention, that means you are not a good speaker. The next one is the subject understand enough about the basic grammar. Though there are some grammatical errors, so I noticed that Dewi already did a good job in her grammar, but I also noticed some error, such as when she said anybody to know, which should be anybody knows. But it is okay, because it is not really a fatal mistakes. The next one is the subject did a good job in pronounce her speech. So pronunciation is very, very important for a speaker, because when they can pronounce her word really well, that means that they have a good English speaking ability. So the subject, which is Dewi, already did a good job, but I also noticed some error, like when she pronounced when she pronounced class as class, and also pronounced religion as religion. The next one is the subject mumbled several times. So according to Sahini and Sahamirian, one of the major characteristics of communicative competence is fluency. The subject of this research was mumbling like several times when she was having a hard time to find the right words when she wants to speak. But she mumbles just around 4 or 5 times, so which indicates that her fluency is good enough, considering she rarely uses English in her daily life. Conclusion. From the data analysis, it can be concluded that Dewi Susilawati has a good speaking skill, which has some criteria such as good comprehension, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and also fluency. Even she She like in some area, but it is already good because she rarely speak English in her daily life. The last one, recommendation for the subject of the research. The subject should speak English more in her daily life so that English will be more easy to her when she want to speak, whether in conversational or maybe in academic speaking. And practice to being an academic speaker frequently, because being academic speaker is different from everyday conversation. Like you have to master the material, you have to engage the audience, you have to control your body movement, your gesture, and everything at once. So it is a really hard job. Okay, everyone, this is the last of my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.